I'm ELD, and welcome to Fast Effect, Double Time Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. Here we have Nick on a Bug Delver list versus Adam, two-time Brennan, looking to add a three-time to his moniker. He is on Eureka versus perhaps one of his toughest matchups here in Bug Delver. We'll see how this goes for him, facing down potentially discard, counterspells, and a clock. It looks like we have our names reversed on the marquee here. I believe we're going to have Adam on the left side of the screen. Otherwise, these are just going to be the completely wrong people. Also a possibility. We'll see how this goes. We do everything here in one take, so my mistakes are going to come through just the same as the players. No one gets off easy here. Blemishes and all. Delver not flipping. 1 damage coming in. And a Ponder, looking to set up a guaranteed flip next turn. The names are reversed here. So Adam fetching another island. Ponder stays, and now a fetch, so Delver not guaranteed to flip. Looks like perhaps a Thoughtseize was taken off of that Ponder, and now it is being jammed. We see a Brainstorm in response, which gets dazed, and leaving just a Cunning Wish, a Ponder. I believe that middle card is a Flooded Strand or some type of fetch land. We'll see. What Nick's decision is here. Takes the Cunning Wish, leaving Adam with very few options here. He fires off his Ponder. The only saving grace here is Delver has not flipped yet, so not a tremendous amount of pressure on Adam's life total. That Flooded Strand being played. Able to shuffle away the rest of those cards if they're not up to par. Best case scenario off of a Ponder there is getting a good card into hand and leaving a card on top of the library to draw that will be temporarily protected from discard spells. Thoughtseize already doing some serious damage, taking that Cunning Wish. Cunning Wish often a kill card in this deck, as you get out Omniscience and then simply Cunning Wish for the win. City of Traders coming down, and Impulse with 1 floating. So it looks like a main phase Impulse, perhaps finding an Omniscience. I believe Veil of Summer was just passed on. And a decision here for the Wasteland. Going to go for the Trop. Very often, the play that you see, just based off of the fact that City of Traders must be sacrificed when that other land is played. So City is going to be destroyed. Oh, did we miss this? Another Delver added in. Oh, good guy, Adam. Not even attempting to get that City to stick around. Technically, both players missing that is a problem. Several turns had passed. But the action is competitive but friendly here. That is a error that's simply on Adam's side of things in his mind, I'm sure. Not going to be happy winning because he somehow managed to get a City of Traders to stick around. Certainly doing that on purpose would be cheating. These Delvers chipping away at Adam's life total. 4 mana for Delvers, quite a lot. Almost in hardcast force range. We've got a Ponder. Looks like it's good enough. No shuffle. And Adam, at this point, I got to imagine, may really need Veil of Summer repeatedly as a trump. We've got a Show and Tell. And that's actually it. So Adam only able to get back to the threshold of being able to threaten the combo, but Nick has him completely covered there. A pair of Force of Wills ready to stop whatever plan was going to follow up with that Show and Tell. We see Veil of Summer coming in on the other side. Surgical is a consideration. Caracas as well. Looks like Crop Rotation coming in. So Crop Rotation and Caracas both are going to be able to stop actual beatdown from Emrakul or Gristlebrand. So using either of those to cross the finish line and deal lethal can be stopped by Caracas. However, in this build, it is very, very common to have the Omniscience prior to your giant monster. So if that's the case, Caracas actually does basically nothing. If I get out an Emrakul and you bounce it back to my hand with Caracas, I'm just going to recast it. So you almost need like a Force of Vigor and a Caracas to have any type of chance there, which is not really the type of sideboarding plan you're going to be looking for. Surgical, probably at its strongest in this type of deck. So he has discard. He can potentially snag a key card like Show and Tell and potentially just end the game right there with a Surgical, getting rid of all of the Show and Tells. That's actually one of the things that I like a lot about Adam's list, is it has a couple of Eurekas in it. So there are some blue-green builds of Show and Tell kicking around the internet right now that are entirely reliant on Show and Tell. So if it does get Surgicaled, you are pretty much just completely dead. I don't think those decks have like literally any way to win from there. So definitely an advantage, I would argue, with this current build. The other very useful side of Surgical Extraction is it functions as a counter to Intuition. So very often Intuition will go ahead and get multiple cards with the same name. If that is the case, then Surgical Extraction can often just be a total blowout. For example, if you go and get 3 copies of Omniscience, you can respond to their playing of Show and Tell by getting rid of the Omnisciences. If they, during the end step, fire off Intuition, then you, no matter what's going on, you're going to be able to completely ruin the play. And of course, it's all for no mana, as you're able to just pay the 2 life for the Phyrexian Black. So, Surgical, actually useful in this matchup. Not necessarily an all-star. And likely something that Adam's going to play around if possible. But you know what? It's usually at most 1 copy of the card. Sometimes you have to take lines that walk blindly into it. A couple of Tropical Islands along with a Lotus Petal here for Adam. So he has reached the threshold for lethal mana. A Wasteland coming down and a Goyf being committed to the board. Not particularly threatening to a deck like Eureka Tell. Not the type of thing that they're likely to throw a Force of Will at. And in fact, Adam using Brainstorm now while the shields are down may be able to find something along the lines of City of Traders and be able to just fire off a Show and Tell. Actually going for Xantid Swarm, a new addition to this list. Previously was just running Boseiju. Now it's diversified in that slot to run a Boseiju and a Xantid Swarm. And it looks like this may draw a Force of Will. It does. So Xantid Swarm partially doing its job. but in the process growing this Goyf significantly, getting a creature into the graveyard. So now we have instant sorcery land creature, a 4/5 Goyf. And Thoughtseize, and this is an important play right here. Thoughtseize is extremely dangerous. And he's got the Veil of Summer. That's some serious discipline to not use Veil of Summer to force through that Xantid Swarm. Now Veil is actually counter and draw. Goyf comes down. That 1-mana Cryptic Command. Oh no. You would have expected that to be the turn for Eureka Tell to go off. The shields were down, successfully deflecting a Thoughtseize. That is not the case. Here we see Bug firing off a Ponder. A little surprised he's using the Underground Sea. More discard would be exactly what the doctor ordered. And it is good enough. And another Goyf. So perhaps threatening lethal here, but this is kind of exactly where Show and Tell wants to be. Omniscience, Cunning Wish, and that is gonna be a wrap. This feels very much like exactly the type of scenario that Show and Tell hopes for, is a tapped out opponent. With lethal on the following turn, they've committed all of their resources toward a victory that will never come, as now we have Shared Summoning, grabbing Gristlebrand and Emrakul, and that is just going to be the combo on its own. No need to draw any cards with Gristlebrand, even if he had the life. That was just lethal in the air. Eureka Tell starting to get played quite a bit more online, though it's really more Omnitel. I'm not really seeing many people running Eureka in it. Instead, I'm seeing that 4-mana dig through time at sorcery speed, a recent printing. And we'll see which of these decks ends up putting up better results over time. It seems to me like if you're going to resolve a 4-mana spell, it might as well be one that wins the game. But we'll see. One thing seems to be reaching a consensus is the running of the 4 Veil of Summer main deck. So you have 4 Force of Will and 4 Veil of Summer to protect not only your combo, but your hand. So really, I guess, protecting your combo in every zone, both on the stack and while it's in your hand. Ponder, leading things off for Bug Delver. Shared Summoning. A new printing that works very well in this deck. It's actually castable, which is nice. Ellen Murray's Call, the previous card in that spot, was not actually particularly castable in the deck. You do have Lotus Petal, so you could potentially cast it. Just wasn't really something you saw very often. And now we have a Ponder on Adam's side. He gets a Lotus Petal out first. That is potentially able to protect by paying for days, but also Veil of Summer. It's going to make any type of Thoughtseize or Hymn to Torok a little bit more dicey. Of course, in the very early stages of the game, days and discard can work very well together. They do tend to work best when you do have a clock, and it looks like Nick has managed to land a Goyf. And on the other side of the table, Adam assembling the best combo in the game, Brainstorm plus Fetch Land. This Polluted Delta going to be able to shuffle away these two worst cards, or perhaps save a card from discard temporarily. If you don't have Veil of Summer, sometimes putting a card on top of your library at the Brainstorm is the next best thing. Now a Brainstorm, second main for Nick. Sees the Hymn to Torok, flicks at it. He recognizes it's going to be a little while before that card's castable. And it's not blue to pitch to force. He actually shuffling away Hymn to Torok. That is pretty remarkable. And now a Ponder. I'm actually pretty surprised by that line. Hymn to Torok with counter backup could be very solid. We'll see how this works out for Nick. Him practically a must counter spell. And so far, Adam only basic swamps or basic islands. Now he's going to be able to have green mana online. So Veil of Summer no longer as punishing for a short while. We got to imagine, here it comes, sneak and show and tell. We've got a Force of Negation, pitching Brainstorm. Force pitching Ponder. Got to imagine, when you're playing a deck like Show and Tell, if you have double counter backup, that's usually good enough. And now we have a Gristlebrand coming in, facing down two Goyfs. And he passes the turn. Oh, Caracas. Oh, what a blowout. And and he can't even draw the cards. Ah. Devastating. Yeah, Caracas got him good there. So he had the ability to draw some cards on his turn, but he would have needed to draw into like Xaxes, another Show and Tell. And if he has Omniscience, he'll be in good shape. Daze. And that is it. Apparently it was just Gristlebrand left in hand. The Show and Tell just for a little bit of suspense. Oh, that is a rough one there for Adam. Landing a Gristlebrand and Nick just casually brushing it aside with the power of Caracas. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.